So you're thinking of making the move to Helena, Montana, and you're not quite sure yet if it's gonna be the right fit for you? Well, then this is the video for you. We're gonna go over everything that you need to know about Helena, Montana, so that you can make the right decision. Helena's a great mid-sized town. It's about 33,000 people, but it's awesome because it gives you that small town feeling in that urban environment. You're still close to all the outdoors. The cost of living is much less expensive than other cities in Montana. The healthcare and education systems are excellent. And if you're the type of worker that works remotely, you're gonna find a very peaceful environment. So of course, one of the first things people wanna know is where should they live and which parts of town are better or worse. You know, there's different neighborhoods for different lifestyles, right? So for example, if you have a growing family, you know, maybe West Helena is a better place for you. It's closer to schools, it's near parks and hiking trails. Or if you have a tight budget, maybe East Helena is more your style. It's a little bit less expensive, and it's also where a lot of the new construction is going on. If you're a retiree or you're looking for a more quiet pace of life, you'll probably want to check out the North and the West Valleys. They're a little bit larger properties and a little bit more rural. And if you're looking for that great access to healthcare, then Southeast Helena may be your place, because then you're closest to the St. Peter's Hospital and healthcare system. If you're a remote worker or you like living downtown, then that might be the place for you. It's very historic, lots of restaurants, very walkable. Many people do enjoy living there because it's still, you get that urban environment while being only a few minutes away from all those great outdoor activities. Or check out the South Hills. These tend to be a little bit higher end homes, but they have amazing views and quick access to trails. Housing prices, as I mentioned, are much less expensive than some other cities in Montana like Bozeman or Whitefish. For example, the median price of a single family home in Helena in 2024 was $487,000, where in comparisons to a town like Bozeman, that was $925,000. The cost for a townhouse or a condo in Helena was right around that $365,000 mark. Overall, there's, again, not a lot of inventory, so if you're looking for a property, A, be ready to pounce when it does come along, and or B, be patient until it does. There is a lot of new construction going on, as I mentioned, over on the east side of town, but it's still not quick enough to keep up with all of the people moving in. So as we mentioned, the cost of living and prices and housing, it's much less than other cities in Montana like Missoula or Bozeman or Whitefish. You know, you can expect for a 2-bedroom home, whether you're paying rent or you're paying a mortgage, somewhere between, you know, $1,750 to $2,500, and that's just for a 2-bedroom. It goes up from there. Utilities, depending on how much you're using, will cost you somewhere between $150 to $250 a month. Groceries are about 5 to 10% above the national average, and you know, gas is also higher than the national average, but definitely lower than many coastal states. We already mentioned the great healthcare, and of course, one of the best things about living in Montana, no sales tax. If you're moving from a higher cost city, you're gonna find that your money does go further here, but if you're looking for a job, just realize that the wages also tend to be lower. And speaking of the job market, let's talk about all the different opportunities that you have for jobs here in Helena. So the biggest employer is the federal government and the state of Montana. If you work anywhere within the government, this is a very stable place for you. And right behind that, it's the healthcare industry that supports the area. With St. Peter's Healthcare and many other high-end clinics, there's a lot of available jobs in the area for specialized, high-demanding jobs. Education is a big employer, with Carroll College and the Helena Public School System being huge drivers. Of course, tourism and the outdoor industry as a whole is also a huge driver when it comes to job opportunities in Helena and Montana as a whole. And there is a large selection, as I mentioned, of remote workers here in Helena. Because the greater Helena area is so large, you can live somewhere like Canyon Ferry, which is east of town, about 20-25 minutes, and you can work from home, have that lake life, and still be, 20 minutes to the airport. So between Helena's public, private, and higher education institutions, it's a great place for families and students of all ages. They have 2 high schools. The Helena High School, which offers advanced placement and dual enrollment courses through Carroll College and Helena College. It happens to be known for its strong STEM and art programs. And then there's also the Capitol High School, which focuses on college and career readiness, offering trade and vocational programs, including courses in things like welding, health sciences, and business. You have the C.R. Anderson and Helena Middle Schools. They provide strong academic programs with extracurriculars that are super cool, like robotics, of course, music and athletics. And then the elementary schools, they're always top rated within the state, like the Jim Darcy Elementary and Smith Elementary, known for their strong reading and math programs. So Helena also has a handful of private and faith-based educational opportunities with different philosophies. For example, the Helena Christian School, it's a pre-K through 12. It's a non-denominational Christian school with a focus on small class sizes and a faith-based curriculum. There's the St. Andrew School, which is also K through 12. It's really a classical Catholic school known for its rigorous academic structure. There's the Radley and Eastgate Montessori schools, which is pre-K through 6 only, focus on Montessori style learning and encouraging hands-on education. Now, when it comes to higher education, we already mentioned Carroll College, which is a private Catholic college ranked as one of the top regional colleges in the West by U.S. News and World Report. And it's got great programs in nursing and engineering, biology, and business. What's very attractive about it is it has small class sizes, basically a 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio. It's also notable for its pre-med and veterinary programs, and many graduates go on to some of the top medical schools in the country. Now, the other college is the Helena College, associated with the University of Montana. It's a 2-year community college offering associate degrees and certificate programs. Strong programs, of course, in nursing, aviation maintenance, welding, and business. And it provides affordable tuition and easy transfer pathways onto a 4-year university. Helena actually also has a very large community of homeschooled kids. And Montana is a very lenient state when it comes to the curriculum, so you have a pretty wide variance of things that you're allowed to do. So as we talked about previously, Helena has a very strong healthcare system. Between the hospitals, all of the private clinics, and the mental health services, it's a great place to be if you are in need of healthcare. And they also service the greater Helena area, more rural parts of Montana. So the biggest healthcare employer in town is St. Peter's Healthcare. They are a full-service hospital. They have an ER, surgery, maternity, and specialty care. They're known for their cancer treatment, the cardiology, and orthopedic surgery. And they operate primary care clinics across the city. Now, there's also the VA system there in Helena. While I personally did not serve, I have many friends that did, and they tell me that they actually have had great success with going to the VA clinic in Helena. It hasn't been too difficult to get in, and they have said that the service has been pretty good. There's also plenty of urgent care and walk-in clinics, those specialty medical services, like the Montana Orthopedics and Spine Institute. We get into the mental health and behavioral health services. There's the very famous Shodair Children's Hospital, the only psychiatric hospital for children in Montana. Montana also has great alternative and holistic health and senior and assisted living care. Helena has several high-quality assisted living facilities and in-home care services for seniors. There's Touchmark on Saddle Drive. It's an upscale, independent, and assisted living community. There's Aspen Gardens. They provide memory care for seniors with dementia. Okay, so if you've never been to Montana and you're not sure what the weather is like, you've probably heard all the horror stories. It's really not that bad. Helena is located in that kind of southwestern central part of the state. And, you know, the summers can be anywhere from 75 to, on the hot side, 95 degrees. I find as someone who lives all over Montana during the year, I love coming to the Helena area, especially Canyon Ferry, get out there on the lake, do some boating, some water skiing, and have a really good time and enjoy that summer weather. In the winter, I also love it too. It does sometimes get pretty cold. There's not a lot of snow like you hear about, but you know, the temperature can get down to maybe -30, -35 during a couple weeks in February. It's a pretty normal occurrence out here. Fall tends to last for about 5 to 10 minutes out here. It'll be summer and then it's winter. In the last few years, it seems like summer has really been going into the later parts of September, and then we can see just a few days of some rain and some cool, crisp weather, maybe a few weeks, and then bam, snow will start flying. Springtime usually starts about March. It might start getting a little bit warmer. We'll have a lot more rain, but we still can see snow. Really, I've seen snow in every single month of the year in the over 30 years that I've been out here. However, I would say on average, the snow pretty much is done in about end of April, beginning of May at the latest. The outdoor recreational activities in and around Helena are bonkers. It is an outdoor lover's paradise. You're close to world-class hiking, mountain biking, skiing, fishing, you name it. With over 75% of Lewis and Clark County being public land, you can find any type of outdoor adventure year-round. So whether you're an adrenaline junkie or you just want to relax and see the scapes, check out these different spots. So if you're into hiking and trail running, Helena is surrounded by thousands of acres of public lands with trails ranging from easy nature walks to steep, challenging climbs. Many of these trails start right from town and make it one of the most accessible trail systems in Montana. So if you're looking for some good hikes, some of the best hiking trails near Helena is in the Mount Helena City Park. It's pretty much the most popular. There's also Mount Ascension Park. It's a little bit more challenging than the Mount Helena City Park. It's 3 to 5 miles of moderate to difficult trails, a lot of switchbacks, stuff like that. And then there's the South Hills Trail system, which is the best for your variety. It's got over 80 miles of trails for hiking, mountain biking, and running. It's also dog friendly and it's open year round. Now, if you get out to the gates of the mountain wilderness area, this place is amazing. It's on the Lewis and Clark Trail. It's both scenic and historic. It's got these remote, stunning canyon hikes that go along the Missouri River. There's a lot of things that you can only see through boat access. So if you can, definitely check that out. You can also go up to McDonald Pass, which is probably the best for high altitude views. You know, that's located about 15 miles west of Helena off of Highway 12. It's great for looking at wildflowers in the summer and snowshoeing in the winter. It also actually connects to the Continental Divide Trail. There's the Beartooth Game Range, a little bit less crowded, great for spotting elk, deer, and different birds of prey. And then there's also my favorite hidden gem, the Show Me the Horse Trail. It's an easy, well, moderate 5-mile loop with kind of nice wildflower-filled meadows. It seems to be pretty popular with horseback riders, but it's also great for hiking. For those of you specifically into mountain biking, Helena is nationally recognized as a mountain biking destination, and it earned the Silver Level Ride Center rating from the IMBA, which is the International Mountain Biking Association. So as we mentioned, there's the South Hills Trail system with those over 80 plus miles of interconnected trails. There's also Mount Helena Ridge Trail, pretty cool, very scenic, pretty fast-paced downhill ride. And then there's the Great Divide Ski Trails, which we'll get into a little bit more here as we talk about winter. But during the summer, they do have mountain biking trails that you can access at the park. And for your fishermen and boating enthusiasts, the Missouri River and nearby lakes make Helena a great place to be. The Missouri River provides blue ribbon trout fishing. The best area I would say would be between Holter Dam and Craig, Montana, which is about 30 minutes outside of Helena. You know, the average trout size is somewhere between, 16 to 20 inch size trout. One of my favorites, as I mentioned before, also Canyon Ferry Lake. It's the largest lake that's near Helena. For your fishermen, it's popular for walleye, perch, and trout. Now, Holter Lake and the Gates of the Mountains, as we were talking about, are super scenic and peaceful. They're best for shore fishing and boat access. Great for bass, walleye, and rainbow trout. One of the locals' favorite is Hauser Lake. It's a little bit easier access than Canyon Ferry for those in Helena, but it's also best for ice fishing in the winter. I would say overall the best boating and kayaking spots would probably be Canyon Ferry, since it's the largest, followed by Holter, and then a lot of the things on the Missouri River, including the Gates of the Mountains. And when it comes to winter sports and skiing, Helena is awesome. The Great Divide Ski Area is the closest ski resort. It's about 35 minutes from Helena. They have super affordable lift tickets there compared to other places in the state. And it's a great mix of hills for beginners, intermediate, and expert skiers. You're also close to Showdown, Montana, which is a 2-hour drive, but it's worth it for the deep powder and the shorter lift lines. Best snow and family-friendly type environment, I think. The crowds, again, aren't nearly as big as some of the other resorts like Bridger Bowl in Bozeman, which is about an hour and a half to the south, or if you go all the way down another hour to Big Sky, Montana. If you're into cross-country skiing and snowshoeing, McDonald Pass again and the Nordic ski trails that they have up there are pretty awesome. The Helena Nordic Ski Club keeps them groomed. It's perfect for people that are just getting into cross-country skiing, or even some classic skiing. Again, you can hit the South Hills trails, a little bit more challenging for you cross-country skiers, but it's free to use, and it's also less crowded than the other ski resorts. If you're into getting a little into the backcountry, there's 10 Mile Creek. It's very remote, quiet, peaceful setting for snowshoeing and wildlife spotting. So another thing to consider about Helena is because of its slower pace of life, the nightlife scene here isn't as active as you may be used to coming from a more urban environment, or even some of the other towns in Montana like Bozeman or Missoula or Kalispell, Whitefish for that matter. As someone who has lived in all of these different towns, I can tell you that the nightlife scene in Helena is probably one of the slowest in the state. All I'm saying is if you want to go out and party every night, Helena might not be the place for you. So what do you think? Is Helena the right place for you? I love it. It's got a lot of people. You can still access everything you need. We didn't get into it completely, but you can get to your Walmart and your box stores. You can go downtown. You can have your smaller boutiques, get that culture that you're looking for, and then buzz 5-10 miles outside of town and you're out in the wilderness ready to do your thing. I love Helena, and I think you will too. So if you want to know more about Helena, Montana, all of our information is below. Just reach out and we'd be happy to help you make an easy and smooth move here to Helena. And if you found this video helpful, Do me a favor and like and subscribe, and we'll be sure to notify you when our latest video comes out, where we talk about all of the different cities across Montana, from Bozeman to Helena, Glacier, Yellowstone, and everywhere in between. So until next time,